Unit 4. It's wise to analyze strategically. Assess performance on strategic factors. Perhaps one of the reasons that members of planning teams shy away from analysis is the way it's done. In most cases, the analysis ends up divorced from the strategy development and the strategy development. As you know, from Unit 1, our aim is to link strategic analysis to strategy development via strategic factors. In this unit, we show you how via these 6 steps. Form planning team. Profile competitors. Identify strategic factors in your industry. Complete a competitive assessment matrix on strategic factors. Develop a competitive advantage or profile around strategic factors for each product or service. Summarize the analysis of a set of key strategic uses. There are several reasons for undertaking strategic analysis. One reason is to assess your organization competitiveness. Example, to determine its present competitive advantage. From this knowledge, strategy and future competitive advantage can be built. Another reason is to develop a list of key strategic uses faced by your organization or business unit. These issues are those that must be addressed through the ensuing strategic planning. Step 1. Forming a planning team. Make implementation the first thought, not an afterthought. Strategic analysis is generally too complex a task for an individual to undertake alone. Hence, it is generally advisable to form a team. In deciding on the composition of your planning team, there are a number of things to be considered. Its size, the levels of the organization to be involved, the functions to be represented, whether outsiders will be present, for example, customers, suppliers, or board members. Finally, the composition of the team must be such as to lead to ownership, commitment, and implementation. The basic principle in structuring a planning team is to ensure that sufficient industry knowledge and experience are represented and that there is commitment to the strategic plan implementations. To carry out this principle, you must think implementation first, not last. The basic problem that most people experience in strategic analysis and planning is that they make implementation an afterthought rather than the first thought. Once implementation comes first, the design and composition of the planning team take on totally different dimensions. Step 2. Profiling competitors. This is a key step in strategic planning. Once formed, your planning team needs to turn its attention to the remaining steps. The first of these is profiling competitors. Most organizations do a relatively good job of monitoring customers, but an extremely poor job of monitoring competitors. One reason for this is the lack of a structure that facilitates the tracking of competitor activity. Marketing and sales departments have as their specific responsibilities to ascertain and meet the needs of customers. But in most organizations, there is no department or individual whose specific purpose is to track the activities of competitors. Build up a picture of what your competitors are, good or bad. Figure 4.1 has a modification of a figure previously encountered. Here, there is one important addition: competitors, competitors, competitors. For each of the stereotypical key stakeholders, customers, suppliers, employees, owners, there exists a set of different competitors. Those for an organization customers are different from those for owners. Different again are the competitors for employees, although these latter competitors may include those for customers. If you are to develop an effective strategy, it is essential that you have a complete understanding not only of your organization's key stakeholders, but also of your competitors. Competitive advantage is doing something better than rivals in the eyes of the key stakeholders. The reason for profiling your competitors is that you intend to assess their performance versus yours on the strategic factors, or in other words, as part of a strategic analysis, as part of intelligence analysis. You want to know which of you has a competitive advantage relevant to key stakeholders. Profiles of your competitors assist in undertaking a competitive assessment on strategic factors. So again, competitive advantage is doing something better than rivals in the eyes of key stakeholders. Step 3. Identifying strategic factors. This is a crucial step, so please pay attention and write your questions. Besides understanding your competitors, you have to identify the strategic factors in your industry for each of your key stakeholders. We see this illustrated in the following case. While a real organization, its name has been changed. Middleton Timber. 4 stakeholders were identified as having a major impact on the organization's prosperity. These key stakeholders and the relevant strategic factors are listed below. Owners, the holding company. Dividends, capital growth, or shareholders' funds. Company reputation, operational performance. Customers, price and trade terms, product quality, range of products, customer service, delivery. Suppliers, financial security of Middleton, consistency of orders, standardization of tender specification, order lead time, trade terms, size of orders. Employees. Under strategic factors, job security, job requirements, company reputation, physical working conditions, rewards like recognition, pay, training and development, bonus, promotional opportunities, and co-worker relationships. What this example illustrates is the importance of identifying an organization's key stakeholders, which in turn affects the identification of strategic factors. If suppliers, for instance, had been omitted from the list, the strategic factors for suppliers would also have gone unnoted by Middleton Timber. In addition to the collective experience of your planning team, there are other ways to uncover strategic factors. While the list that we will be talking below relates particularly to customers, a similar list could be drawn up for any key stakeholder of your organization or business unit. 1. Customer responses to performance, like letters, conversations, emails. 2. Sales force feedback or sales force management, sales report on product, service sales. 3. Customer service, like questionnaires, interviews, chats with customers. 4. Customer focus groups, like small group, in-depth discussions. And number 5. Competitor activity, like changes in their performance.